DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Only 2 parts left in this pro camp checklist, exposure camp, etc. series. And this one right here is the last pre-camp checklist item. And this is a step back and take a deep breath before you make your final decision. Because all of us out there, if you're a player right now, let's say you played in college and you want to play professionally, but you haven't gotten your shot yet, and you're looking at this camp and that camp and the third camp, and you think you're about ready to choose which one to go for, and you about to put a few $100s down for that, then you know you got to spend a couple hundred more for your flight, and you got to put some money away for your travel expenses while you're out there, and the money that you're not going to make while you're gone. You might have to not be at work, or your family, or your kids, or your girl, your wife, or whatever your situation is. And I understand that at that point, all you thinking about is, if this goes perfectly, this camp right here, it could be everything I ever wanted. I get signed to a contract and get to play basketball, which is what I love to do. I get to make money. This would be the perfect scenario if this works. And a lot of times, us human beings, anybody, basketball players or not, we get caught up in that. We start thinking about the best possible thing that could happen in a situation, so we go through it and we jump head first into it because all we're thinking about is the best possible outcome. And when we talking about these camps, the best possible outcome is that you get signed, you get to go play for a team and do what you love and make a living for it, but you don't consider the pitfalls. Like, you don't consider the red flags here. Like, this guy took 2 weeks to return my email, or this person said, we're going to have 20 coaches there, but he couldn't name a single one of them. Or I reached out to 4 or 5 players and asked them, what's this camp worth? I didn't hear back nothing from any of them. Or the one person that wrote me back said it wasn't really like that. Like, even though he signed a deal, it wasn't because of that camp. And I'm looking at all these red flags, but then your emotions overpower the red flags because all you thinking about is that perfect case scenario. Like, yeah, all them red flags happen, but what if this happened? I get to sign a deal and it'll be perfect, and your emotions overpower you, and then you're going to make a decision that you later regret. So what I advise you is, once you do finally come to a decision on what camp you want to go to and you want to spend all that money for that camp, try to take 24 hours if you can and just think about it. Sleep on it. Like I read in a book I read, I think it was Baltazar Gracian. I hope I'm not chopping his name up too bad. He said it's better to, I'm paraphrasing, he says, better to stay awake at night on your own and think about something before it happens than to have to not be able to sleep later on because something bad happened and you didn't think about it beforehand, and now you're stuck and you got to figure out a way out of the situation. That was a bad paraphrasing, but hopefully y'all understand that. But the point of this is, like I said, step back from your emotions, because your emotions can be very strong, but your emotions are bad decision makers. Don't ever let your emotions make decisions for you, especially when you're talking about investing in your career, because you might be investing in, all you really will be investing in, if you go to the wrong camp, you investing in the person that put it together, you investing in his future, because he's going to take that money and put it towards something that's going to help him, and it's not going to help you at all that money you spent, because the camp had a bunch of red flags and it went against a bunch of stuff that I talked about in this series so far. So take a step back, look at what you're about to do, and just imagine that you was somebody else watching you, and you looking at what you're about to do. What would you think of that person if they were about to do that? Would you say, this is a good, smart, calculated risk this person's taking, is going to this camp? Or would you say, like, this dude is stupid, he's not even paying attention to the fact that the organizer never wrote him back, that the guy he contacted that went to the camp said it was BS and no agent showed up. He's not paying attention to the fact that they don't have video available, or they said it might be available, but they weren't really clear on if I could get video or not. Nobody from the camp that got signed the year before is saying anything positive about it. He's ignoring all the red flags. He's just doing it because he think if it go perfect for him, he think he's going to be the one guy that's going to go great for, and he's going to sign a deal. Are you that person that's ignoring all the red flags, or are you a person that's thinking rationally and saying, okay, this is a good business move, I'm going to go do this. If it works out, it'll be great. But either way, I think I'm making a good decision, because it seems like everything's on the up and up here. So make sure you detach from your emotions and make a smart decision when you do finally come time to decide what you're going to do. It was a move used mostly by Chris Paul, where you put a spin on the ball in one hand. And you see I go behind the back, little jump stop as I put the ball around my back, and then I go.